After every chaotic war, there will be silence. At that instance, we will know what we have truly paid to win. Covid-19 is not only going to claim thousands of lives, but also damage a huge chunk of global economy as a reparation. We as a civilization are playing a dangerous chess game with a virus which has radical power. If you want to win this, we better think 2 moves ahead of Covid-19 vermin. We are going to restart the economy of the world once this pandemic is over. But economy is not a simple switch. It is a massive living machinery which has a lot of moving parts. Its functioning is going to impact 7.8 billion people on this planet. It is a scary process, but it is inevitable. These are my suggestions which can reinforce the economy in a post-corona world. Reform 1. After the pandemic, there will be a need for a lot of materials. But a wish without purchasing power is a desire. It cannot be deemed as a demand. We need to put the purchasing power back in the hands of people. This is a ground-up process. We need to increase the purchasing power of an entire country from vulnerable to the elite. Once a market sees the signal of purchasing power increasing, the supply chain will gain traction. There should be an incentive for the supply chain to work in this wartime effort. Losing toll fares and reducing fuel price can be a great motivation to increase the supply. Multi-axle heavy vehicles can be given buyback options so that it can be upgraded. Government can set up higher wages for truck drivers so that new drivers can be drawn towards the profession. Reform 2. Use the sunk cost of idling infrastructure to advantage. Battling Covid-19 is a monumental task, but we need to keep in mind that post this crisis, we will be having a planet to run and billions to feed. We need to plan a stimulus which can immediately jumpstart the hibernating sectors like transportation. Maintenance on airport runways, terminal buildings, train tracks, railway station, harbor docking stations can be planned and executed. Governments can capitalize on the sunk cost of idleness of this infrastructure. We need to figure out how we can employ massive projects by protecting the workers and avoiding community spreading. Involve private industry as partners to revive infrastructure, as they are the major beneficiaries in this reform. Reform 3. Massive infrastructure projects. One man's crisis is an opportunity for another. Greatest infrastructures like Autobahn in Germany, Hoover Dam in the United States of America were built during crisis. Public spending will keep us afloat without going into a depression. National level infrastructure can be planned and started during these tough times. Reform 4. We need to make sure the existing financial apparatus doesn't distort. Finance Ministry can set up a task force to evaluate all the banking and non-banking financial institutions. Let each of the institutions be given a credit score and limit their operation based on that score. Reform 5. Create a national pandemic recovery agency which can advise hospitals, military, ports, and governments. This will lead to direct and indirect employment, which will inspire confidence from international trading community. We are not going to stop another pandemic with a thermometer at the gates of an airport. We as a civilization have to rewrite the rules of travel the same way how it was modified after 9/11. All these steps has to be started at the right time. Time is absolutely the essence here. One thing Covid-19 has taught us is that playing catch up with the virus is arduous. Once the pandemic is over, things will not go back to being normal, unfortunately. Every war consumes collateral. Covid-19 would have consumed a huge portion of our economies. Unless serious steps are taken, our way of life can never be the same. We shall fight this virus in our airports. We shall fight this in our markets. We shall fight this in our public spaces. This is a battle we cannot lose. With God on our side, the human race will come out of this victorious.